Okay, now it's now my pleasure to introduce your valedictorian, Dr. Marcelo Nepomuceno. Let me tell you a thing or two about Marcelo. Dr. Nepomuceno defended his PhD dissertation, and I quote, anti-consumption, the lifestyles of the discipline materialists. He did this in June of 2012, under the supervision of Dr. Michel Laroche from the Department of Marketing. As a PhD student, he won several honors, awards, and grants. With co-authors, he published teen peer-reviewed articles, 2 book chapters, and he has 30 papers in conferences and expositions. His research interests lie predominantly in the areas of consumer behavior, subject that Aldo would be interested, anti-consumption phenomenon, evolutionary psychology, and cross-cultural psychology. Dr. Nepomuceno is currently employed as an assistant professor in marketing at the École supérieure de commerce de Paris. I would like to ask Dr. Marcelo Nepomuceno to give his valedictory address. Doctor?
Chancellor Menard, Chairman Hebert, President Shepard, Dr. Bezadoun, distinguished guests and participants, fellow students, families and friends, I am pleased and honored to address you today on behalf of the graduate students. Well, I should start with a confession. Not so many weeks ago, I had no clue that the word valedictorian existed. So when I got the invitation by email, I did what anyone would do in my case. I asked what the word meant to God's representative on the internet, that is Google. And when the results started to pop up on my screen, I was stunned. Really, it took me a while to believe that I was not getting a spam and was actually being invited to a huge honor. As I found out, a valedictorian is responsible to represent the graduates and be the farewell speech. But who am I to do that? Let's be honest. Very few of you know me, and I know almost none of you. So how can I say something that will resonate with all of you? Pour compliquer, j'ai besoin de le faire en anglais et en français. Et comme vous pouvez entendre, mon accent est très fort dans les deux langues. So here I am, thousands of miles away from home, preparing a speech to an audience that I'm supposed to represent. At first, I thought I had to say something clever. However, I quickly disregarded this idea. Despite having successfully defended my thesis, I don't really feel that I have something interesting to say to such a diverse audience. I would risk being so boring that nobody would pay attention. Then another idea hit me. I thought about stating the achievements of our school and our students, but that also felt strange because I could not make it feel like a farewell speech. Since Epiphany never hit me, I went online for inspiration. I started to watch several dozens of speeches, and I stumbled upon one from Steve Jobs. A very successful one, I should say, because his commencement address has around 50 million views on YouTube. Interesting enough, all he does is tell 3 stories. I will humbly tell you one. If you were to tell me 6 years ago that I would come to Montreal to do my PhD, my reaction would be, I wish. At that time, my life seemed settled. I was doing my master's. I had a stable and well-paid job. I could afford 3 vacations a year, and geez, I was only 25 and I already had a retirement plan. All those things looked quite all right from outside, but something didn't feel right. I was not living my dream. So I decided to leave my comfort zone and I embarked here to Canada. Quand je suis arrivé à Montréal, j'ai remarqué tout de suite que je n'étais pas le seul élève qui a voyagé de milliards de kilomètres pour réaliser un rêve. Dans cette ville multiculturelle et bilingue, c'est facile de trouver des étudiants qui ont quitté leur famille et les amis. We all know how difficult it was to get here. We know how many nights we didn't sleep. We know the challenge we had to overcome. I, for one, remember the anxiety of getting bad grades in the beginning, in the first semesters. I remember going to class and thinking, wow, her English is so perfect. It took me a while to notice that the language was not the content of the class. The challenge we face are things of the past now. Today, our dreams come true. Tonight, we celebrate our achievements with those who matter most. Tonight, we didn't just prove to others that we can get a diploma. We proved to ourselves that we can fight for our dreams. After the dust has settled, the question that will remain is, Where will all dreams take us next? Well, that's up to us. Thank you, mother, father, and dear wife. Thank you, Concordia and its amazing faculty. Merci, Montréal. Merci à tous. Good night.
Thank you, Dr. Nepomuceno. I was interested in hearing that you had never heard a thing about a valedictorian address, but I'd say you're a quick read and you caught up pretty quickly. Thank you as well for sharing an idea that all of you will take away, that the best way to pursue your dreams is to leave your comfort zone. And it served you well, and I'm sure it'll serve you all graduates who joined me in thanking your colleague for a great address. And now,